When it comes to celebrating, my favorite thing to do is personally have some good food. Today I'm going to show my work family how to make lamb chops in order to celebrate Founders Day event. To begin, I'm placing 9 lamb chops into my mixing bowl. As you can see, it's about 3 to 4 pounds that I bought from my local halal store. The good thing about this is that they clean and cut the fat off for me, so before I'm about to cook it, I usually soak it in 1 cup vinegar and 1 cup water. Once I'm done putting all of the lamb chops into a big bowl, what I do is I grab a separate bowl in order to make my marinade. Now I'm adding about 1/3 cup of olive oil and then 1 teaspoon of cumin, one teaspoon coriander, one teaspoon turmeric, half a teaspoon of chili powder. It's not that spicy, so don't worry. 1 teaspoon salt, and make sure to adjust according to your preference. And then 1/2 teaspoon black pepper. Now for my herbs, I add 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, half a teaspoon of dried mint, and lastly, half a teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning. Lastly, I can't forget my garlic and ginger paste. I add 1 teaspoon of each. I'll link down below where you can find it. You might be wondering why I'm putting it into a separate bowl, but as you can see, once I do mix it, it mixes in better, and then once I add it to my lamb chops, all the lamb chops get marinated better. As you can see, I'm using my hands and I'm massaging my marinade into the lamb chops. Don't get scared, it's not gonna hurt you. Once I'm done mixing the marinade in, I then put my lid on and then I marinate it in the fridge for 2 days. Yes, you heard me right, 2 days. You could do it for 1 day if you don't have time, but 2 days works best because the flavors really marinate well. Once I am ready to cook the lamb chops, I take it out of the fridge and let it sit in room temperature while I peel my garlic. You'll see that I'm peeling 1 whole large garlic bulb, and the reason that I'm doing this is because I really like to add garlic just like people do to their steak. In my opinion, roasted garlic with lamb chops tastes so good. You can always buy peeled garlic if this is too much work for you. Once you're done, make sure to preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Altogether, you can see there's about 15 garlic cloves. While the oven is preheating, grab a cast iron pan, or you can even grab a stainless steel pan, and then add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then 2 tablespoons of salted butter. If you don't want any more salt, you don't have to, but because we only added 1 teaspoon to 9 lamb chops, this is the best way to add more salt to help the flavor stand out more. You'll see that I'm taking a spoon and mixing the olive oil and the butter together. Once I do that, I then add half a teaspoon of salt, Yes, you heard that right. I'm adding half a teaspoon of salt again, and then I'm mixing that in. Once it does bubble, and keep in mind this is all on medium heat. A cast iron or even a stainless steel pan heats up quickly. Once the oil is hot, then I added in half my lamb chops. Now you might be wondering what am I doing with the other half, but I'm also doing this on another pan. It's really important for the lamb chops to also have space while they're cooking. I'm going to cook each side for 7 minutes. While it's cooking on one side for 7 minutes, I'm adding in my fresh thyme and I'm also adding in fresh rosemary. I then also add half of my garlic. After 7 minutes, I'm going to flip over each lamb chop. You might be wondering why I'm getting the oven prepared, but that's because once I do put this on the cast iron pan, it does create a little crust. Once each side is done after 7 minutes, I'm then going to pop it into the oven for 10 minutes. While it is in the oven, I'm making my mint chimichurri sauce. Now you can skip this if you don't like mint, but this definitely gives the kick of flavor. So I'm adding in about 1 cup of mint, a half cup of cilantro, and a half cup of parsley. You don't have to chop or cut any of this up because I'm putting this in a little food chopper, as you can see. I then add about 1/4 cup olive oil, and then I add 1 teaspoon salt, and then also 1 teaspoon garlic paste. And then for the final touches, I add some red pepper flakes just for a little kick of spice. I also forgot to mention that I did add 1/3 cup of water. Now that it's done blending, I just transfer it to a little glass mason jar, and you can just keep it aside while you wait for your lamb chops. After 10 minutes, you can see that it's still bubbling a little because it has that sizzle effect from the oven. Once I do take it out, I'm just adding the finishing touches. I'm adding the mint chimichurri that we made. I promise you, you should not skip out on this. It's so good. And then I'm also adding some fresh rosemary again. And now we're finally done. Now we can finally enjoy. I personally enjoyed this with some Turkish rice and also mashed potatoes. We're finally back, and I know that it does take some planning ahead to do, but the end result is so delicious. More importantly, I hope this was a great way to end our Founders Day and March Madness event. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.